Thank you to xTiles for sponsoring today's video. If you're looking for a new and interesting way to plan your life, I highly recommend testing out xTiles and seeing if it's the right planning app for you. Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit more about xTiles and how I've set it up to actually organize my life in a functional way. This is a really fun and unique app to organize your life, and I really like the way that it approaches planning, and it's just a really easy to use app. If you don't know what xTiles is, it's basically a productivity app that uses the concept of tiles to organize and visualize all your ideas in a unique way. In a regular linear text document, things can sometimes get a little bit more messy and confusing, whereas in xTiles, it kind of forces you to organize your ideas and concepts into these little tiles, which I really love. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I set up xTiles and my entire workspace. So here we are in xTiles. You can see I have these sections here at the side, but the one I want to focus on is Life Hub. So in here, I've created different pages and workspaces that can organize different sections of my life. So the main ones that I'm going to be focusing on in this video is going to be Content Manager, Yearly Planner, Weekly, and my book tracker. I have a few other ones down here that I've also used, but those are the ones that I want to mainly focus on in today's video to show you how I use xTiles. So the first page I want to cover is the yearly planner. So this is what I've set up for entire goal setting for the year and just setting out my year for me to just quickly plan out. So first we have here the first page, which is just again yearly planner, and here what I've done is I've just added in a little table here that has some of my goals and also when I want to achieve those goals. So here you can see I have set out all the goals here in this table, then I just have categorized them, so whether it's a work-related goal or a personal goal, and then when I would like to likely achieve those goals. So I just set that out in quarters of the year. So ideally in what quarter of the year I would like to achieve those goals, and then also the status of that goal, whether it's in progress, not started, or finished. So just to show you how this works, you just click here to new, and I can just add in any goal. So I'm just gonna write down goal. And then for category, I've already set these. I use the select value, as you can see here. That means I can just select easily which one I want. So I'm just gonna choose personal. Then the same for the quarter, which quarter it is, I can just select one of these options that I've already created. And then I can also choose the status, done, not done, in progress, whatever. So that is what the goals section is that I've just set for more broad term goals for the year 2024. So it's just nice to see kind of what I'm planning to do and just to remind myself of what I'm working towards. But these are very broad goals. There are no action steps to actually achieve them, but that I usually do more in the quarterly planning and the monthly planning. So this is what my quarterly planning look like. Let's go to quarter one. So obviously I've set here the goals and I can see what I wanted to achieve in that quarter. And here you can see this is what it looks like. What I've done here is I've sectioned it out in 3 different tiles. So tiles are these little blocks that you can easily move around. You can easily create a new tile by just dragging out the size you want. You can customize each tile here by choosing here to style and choosing what type of banner you want, what color you want for that. My favorite is this option here with whatever color I want. I just think it looks really nice. And also some other customization that you have for your pages is also just adding in like a little icon, the title, and also you can add cover images. So all my cover images I made myself, but you can also, when you go to change cover here, you can also just use Unsplash's images for your cover images as well. But that is what I really like about this, is also that it's very customizable to my liking, colors that I can choose and all that. So that's what I really love about this. So getting back to the quarterly planning, what I've done is I've separated it into 3 tiles. So the first one here is monthly planning, where I can go into each month and plan out even more each month and the goals for that month. Then I have quarterly goals, which I have set out here. So here I just set 3 goals for that quarter. Again, these are more broad because it's over a span of 3 months, but broad terms or broad goals that I want to achieve for that quarter specifically. So I can even reference that previous table that I made to make sure I'm achieving all the goals that I want for that quarter. And then at the end of each quarter, I can do a little review. And I've sectioned this out to gratitude, what am I grateful for, good, what went well, and grow, what could have been improved. And I can fill that out at the end of a quarter. So as you can see, we just finished the first quarter of the year, so I could fill that out really easily. So for monthly planning, what I've done is, like I said, I've created these sub pages here. So that's just really nice that I can create sub pages for each little page that I've created. So let's just go into March here. I can just go ahead and set, again, goals, but these are more specific goals and actually achievable goals. So what I've done here is I set the goal, and then here I have this little toggle list of action steps to achieve those goals. So here you can see these are also just check boxes of little steps that I can do to actually get that goal achieved, you understand? So this is, again, just breaking it down even more into smaller bite-sized pieces that actually makes it achievable. So then I have, again, separated this into 3 tiles. We have the goals, and then we just have plans for this month. This is just a place where I can dump things that are supposed to happen in this month. So this is just a really easy way to just dump anything that I know needs to happen. Even if it doesn't even have a date yet, I can just put that here. And then I also have the monthly review, which is similar to the quarterly review, where I can just set what I'm grateful for, what went well, and what could have been improved. And I can just fill that out at the end of each month. So that was quarter 1. Obviously, we're entering into quarter 2. So this is an example of what it will look like. We have, again, the 3 months of that quarter. We have my quarterly goals that I've set. And also we have the end of quarter review, which obviously isn't filled out yet because it's not the end of quarter 2. So here we have the month of April, where I can just go ahead, and I've already set out some of the goals and the plans that I have for this month. And I can just reference this and do the monthly review at the end of April. So that's kind of what I did for the more yearly planning, and a lot more focused on goal setting. But now let's go to another page. So next I want to cover my weekly page. So this is just a cute little dashboard that I made for weekly planning specifically. It can be daily planning as well. As you can see, we have a today section here. But I love to just be able to drop down everything that I want to do for a week, because I don't consistently check in on all my trackers and things every single day. So this little dashboard is just a really nice way to just visualize whatever it is that I need to do that week. So what I did here is I just added in a little image here that says April. So you can just easily choose image and upload whatever image you want into a tile. And I think it looks really cute just like that. It just fits in perfectly with all the rest of the tiles. I did the same here. I added in a little image with just a cute little graphic that I can just quickly see here that just spruces up the pages a bit. Here you can see I also added the title weekly with a little emoji, and also just a cover image here at the top. So for the tiles that I've actually created here, I've just set out different little lists that I can fill in. So we just have the today section where I can kind of make to-do lists for the day. I can also just fill in the this week section, so that could fall into any day of the week, but just like a master to-do list of everything that I need to get done that week. And I can easily just drag and drop things over from the weekly block to the daily block. So that is really helpful to just easily move things around. Then I've also just created like a little goals section, maybe just like a weekly goal of like what I want to do for that week and the things I would likely like to achieve. Then I've just added here a little TBR section just for the books that I would likely like to read, either for that month or that week. It doesn't really matter, but just books that are kind of on my radar that if I'm wondering what to read, I can just quickly see my TBR right there. Like I already mentioned, I have here this little image that I imported, and then we just have a habits table that is just really helpful as well. So I really love the little look of this. This is just like a cute little cozy dashboard of my week. It doesn't make it look so scary. It's just really cute and an easy way to organize everything that I need to get done. So these are checkboxes, but you can also create tasks. So I can just go here and say schedule video. And what tasks do is they go to live here in this little task section. So across all your pages, you can see all the little tasks that you need to get done. Or what I can also do is I can create a task here for the week. So if I know something is supposed to happen on a certain day, so let's say on Friday it's taking out the trash bags. And then next to that task, you have this little calendar icon, which I can tap on and schedule it for Friday. So now when I go to the task section, it will say on 12th of April, it's trash day, so I need to take that out. So it's just a really nice way to actually, on whatever page you're on, pop in and see all the tasks that you have set across all your platforms on xTiles. So that's really helpful as well. And here you can see also in the calendar view, I have scheduled that in. So that is my weekly page where I can just quickly plan out my week. Then the next thing I want to cover is where I probably do most planning, which is Content Manager, where I plan out all the videos that I need to get done, and yeah, just get all my work done. So this is the first page when you come in. Again, I customize this a lot to my style and how I like my things to look. So I've added in these images here. The first one is branding, which just has all my little branding things underneath that. I have my profile picture for YouTube and Instagram and all that. I have my banner image. I have my media kit, and then also just all the colors that I usually use in my videos. I just think this is a nice way to just start off my YouTube page. Then we just have YouTube videos here, and what I've done here is just like a place where I can dump like video ideas, as you can see here. And then I have these pages here for like sponsors. So I created a sub page here for a sponsor. I can go in there and I can link all the YouTube videos that I've created for that sponsor, which is really helpful to be able to do and just have that in one space. Then the main thing, which I really love that they added to xTiles, is the fact that you can now create collections, which is basically similar to databases. So here you can see at the side here, you have all the things you can add, and this here, you can tap on it and select create new collection, so to create an entirely new database, or I can just go here to YouTube videos, which is a database that I've already created. So what I've done here is I've created this view for my YouTube videos. I really like the Kanban board type of view because I can easily just drag things around to the appropriate area. So I've sectioned this up into different stages of the production of videos. So we have just an idea, we have scripting for videos, filming videos, and then publishing any videos. So to create a new video, I can just choose whichever stages it's in. So maybe I just have like a little idea that I want to fill out. So I can just type in here video idea, and here I can choose the status. Again, I just created it in the ideas section, but I can easily just move it around by just choosing a different status. Then we have categories, so I can categorize what that video kind of falls into. So here are just some categories that I know I usually make videos on, so I can just choose whatever one falls into that category. And then we can also set an upload date, which I really like to do just so I know when I'm posting what video, and I'll show you a different view later which really helps with this. So if I wanted to post this on the 24th of April, then if it's a sponsor, it has a sponsor, I can easily just add in who that sponsor is. So as you can see there, I can just select any of those. But what's also really nice is beneath that, I can also fill in any details that I want for that video. If I want to write down any key points for that video, I can add that in here. And also if I have any images or files or things that I need to reference, I can also add all of those in here really easily. So then that is there. And then maybe I just started filming that video, I can drag that over to filming, and then it lives there. So it's just a really nice way to organize all of my videos. And then also here you can see all the videos that I've published. Something that I also like about this little block here is I can write out an entire script for a video right here. So I don't have to create separate pages for that. And also I can include tables, and I often like to use tables to write out and plan all the filming that I need to do. So what I usually do is I just write in the type of shot that I need to take, describing what I want to film. I can choose the type of shot, so that would be categorized in A-roll or B-roll, and then I can also just tick off if I've actually filmed that, because a lot of my videos do have a lot of B-roll, and sometimes it can be hard to just remember everything that I need to film. So that's really helpful to have all that here. Then here you can see I have another view, which is upload date, so you can choose which type of view you want. A table would look something like this, which just gives you some overview. But upload date I've set here, that gives me a calendar view of when that video is being posted, and then I can also, if something changes, I can move it around throughout my calendar, and it's just a really helpful way to visualize all my things in different ways. So I mainly use the Kanban board view and the upload date the calendar view to organize all of my videos. And then I've also just created a page here for short form content. Now this usually doesn't have a lot of planning going into it, so I just created a very basic page for this because I don't need like an entire database or collection for this. So what I've just done here is I've just added a cute little image, and then I added in a table where I can just write down the title of that short and also the status of it and the upload date. So this is just enough for me for short form content. And a lot of times short form content gets reused, so I just have a video archive here of things that can often be put back here as a video for different weeks. So that is what I've done here. I also just have a dump of some video ideas and then quick links to different social media platforms that I can access if I need to. So that is what I've done for my short form content. But yeah, this system really helps me a lot with planning out videos, and I think this is a really nice way of being able to organize any content. Also for content, I've also created a template that helps me to basically just script out videos, which I've put in this section here called video scripts. So what I do here is I just click on new project and then I select use template. So it's going to be here in the My Template section under Video Template. And this is what that looks like. So this template, I've already set the cover images and all the tiles that I need for it. So I can just easily now use this whenever I want to actually go into depth about scripting a video and everything that I need. So this is similar to what I showed you in the database, but these are just if I want to go in more depth, because not all videos have to have the same level of planning. So here's an example of what that video template looks like when it's actually used and filled out. So here you can see I have this video that I planned out, which you can see all the key points that I had for that video, and then I just incorporated that into this script that I have here. And then also the table that I mentioned here, you can see all the shots that I had for that. And then also if I needed to add anything else in, I could have added that in there. So yeah, this is a really helpful template that I think I would often reuse to plan out my videos if I needed some more in-depth planning for it. Then one of my favorite pages that I've created is the 2024 book tracker. Now I actually used a template from xTiles for this. It just makes it so much easier. So all I did is I searched books. And here you can see it says book tracker. So this is the one that I used. And they have so many different templates that you can use if you don't want to figure out how to create pages yourself. They have so many different little pages that you can use to actually fill out, and these are really well put out, all these templates. So I highly recommend taking a look at some of their templates here in their template gallery. You just go to new project and choose use template. So this is how I filled in that book tracker. So this is the before of the template, before I did anything. And this is the after. I just made it fit my style and needs, but basically use the same, let's say, bones of the template. So I just added this cover image that says just one more chapter, and then I just added in all my reads that I've done so far, and I keep on updating this whenever I'm reading a book. So the first one we have here is just the TBR, so all the books are kind of on my radar to read. Then we have currently reading, so I'm in the middle of a book called Ruthless Vows. It's a sequel to another book called Divine Rivals, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Then we have finished books and then DNF books. So for the finished books section, what I usually do is I add in the book and then I add in some more information. So let's show you a book that I just finished. Let's go to Powerless here. So this book here, what I usually do is I just fill out all the details that is in the little collection that is here. Again, this is using the collection in xTiles. So I can add in the name of the author, I can add in the genre, I can choose from the genres there, the status of that book if I'm busy reading it or whatever. Then I can add in my rating. So this one I gave 5 stars, and then the start date and the finish date of that book. And this I added into the database just how I read that book. So usually I have different ways of how I read books, whether it's on my Kindle, using the Libby app, whether it's a physical book, an audiobook, whatever, borrowed from the library, I can add all of that information in here. So what I first do when I'm adding in a book is I add in the image. So what I do for this is I don't want to save each image to my computer, then add it in. All I need to do is I just click /, so that brings up this menu, and I just choose embed. And then I find the book cover on Google and copy the link of that image. So say I want this book cover, I right click and select copy image address. and then I just paste that in here, and just like that, I have the image embedded into my document, and I can choose here on these little dots the size of that image and how it aligns in my document, and that's it. That's how I get it to look like that. And there's a reason that I do this at the beginning of my document, which I will show you. And then after that, I just add in the summary of the book. I add in all my thoughts of the book, and then also some quotes that I would like to save from that book I also add in here. So yeah, that is just how I like to do all my book reviews. I just think it's a really nice system to just have all the basic information that I want about the book saved into a collection here. And then also you have different views here, which again is included into the template. So we have here organized by genre, which you can see all the books they're read by genre, and as you can see there is an overwhelming certain genre that's being read. Then we have bookshelf, and this is why I added in the image at the beginning of that document, because this is then what it looks like, which I think just makes it look a lot more like a bookshelf where you can see the different images. So even if I add a book to my TBR, I add in the image so that I can see what that looks like. So that is what I really love about adding in images. Then we have all books, which just gives you this little table view of all the books and the rating, and also if you haven't read it, you can just see all that. And then I also added in the calendar again, because I can then see when I read what book. So if I go to March here, I can see the books that I read each month and when I read that book or started that book. So this is definitely one of my favorite pages that I've created using their template, just the book tracker and keeping track of all of it. And it's really easy to just personalize this and customize it to your liking. It's really so easy. So those were all the little pages that I wanted to share with you, how I created all my little pages in xTiles. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new. Again, thank you so much to xTiles for sponsoring this video and actually introducing me to this amazing app. I will have a link in the description where you can actually go get xTiles for yourself and try it out. Like I said, it's such a unique way to organize all your ideas and everything you need to get done, so I highly recommend it and just recommend you testing it out. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!